Welcome to another edition of 4 and 4. I'm Kathy Halgren, Director of South St. Paul Public Library, and I've decided to do quarterly reviews from now on. So this quarter, I have a murder mystery set in Utah, a wonderfully brooding novel set in Iceland, a thriller featuring a train and an overactive imagination, and a World War II story told through the world of a blind girl. My first book is the title everyone's talking about, The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins, and it features a trend in modern literature, the unreliable narrator. Rachel rides the train each day past the house where she used to live with Tom. She now lives with Kathy, a generous friend who has taken her in after the divorce and who doesn't know that Rachel is not going to work but just going through the motions. What she does know is that Rachel is drinking heavily, and this is where we become a bit concerned too, as we vicariously experience her life. On her train ride, she fantasizes about a couple she sees near her old house that she calls Jess and Jason, thinking they have everything going for them, the perfect marriage. But when she views Jess with another man, she's shocked, and then Jess disappears. Unable to stay away from her old neighborhood, she believes she has important information regarding the case, and we're left to wonder what's really going on as we learn more about her relationship with Tom, his new wife, and the bottle. My next book is Ivie Harrison's The Bishop's Wife. There have been a lot of novels written recently which delve into Mormonism and wives, but this one is a bit different since it takes place today, and it portrays the constant ambivalence of Linda Waltheim, a woman who finds herself in the position of the bishop's wife in their ward in Draper, Utah. Linda takes her role as bishop's wife very seriously, but just as she's beginning to get empty nest syndrome with the last of her 5 sons in high school, a neighbor shows up with his daughter, stating that his wife has left him high and dry. Linda, as well as you, the reader, immediately believe he's lying because you can't believe she'd leave her daughter behind. But one of the best things about this book is the constant weighing of situations as characters try not to jump to conclusions. As if this weren't enough, another parishioner is near death when Linda discovers that perhaps his first wife hadn't passed away as he had stated. It's a unique mystery for sure, and probably what will attract most readers is the glimpse into the lives of modern-day practicing Mormons. My third book, Strange Shores by Arnaldur Indridason, is part of a series, but I feel that this author is so good at what he does that if you haven't heard of him, it's time to introduce him to you. If you've seen the movie Jar City, then you've made the acquaintance of Inspector Arnaldur Sveinsson, a detective from Reykjavik, Iceland, but he is not working a case in this novel. Instead, he has returned to his birthplace in the eastern fjords of Iceland, trying to come to grips with an incident from his childhood. When he was just a boy, he, his little brother Birger, and his father went out to rescue some sheep on the moor, only to get caught in a blizzard. You can imagine what blizzards in Iceland are like. His father and he survive, but his younger brother is never found. Meanwhile, he's heard of another case of a missing woman who disappeared in 1942 during a storm while crossing the moor. He decides he must find out the truth about this woman and perhaps his brother at the same time. As a seasoned detective, he knows that whatever he finds out might better be kept secret, but he has this great desire to understand things others are afraid to unearth. I love the way this is a non-traditional mystery that helps you get a feel for the culture of Iceland as well as insight into Erlandur's past so that you'll want to go back and start reading other books in this wonderful series. If you've been wondering about all the hype over Anthony Doerr's book, All the Light We Cannot See, it's legit. The writing is gorgeous. This is the kind of book that you savor. It opens with Margie Lohr, a blind girl of 16, tracing the different buildings of her neighborhood on a model built for her by her father so that she could find her way around the city, which is about to be bombed. Her father, who worked at the Museum of Natural History, has access to a prized jewel known as the Sea of Flames, which he takes when they both flee Paris during World War II. They end up with her great-uncle by the sea at Saint-Malo, a walled city of Brittany. Meanwhile, a German orphan, Werner, ends up joining Hitler's youth in the hopes of a better life, and his radio skills prove essential to the troops. I was entranced with both Marie-Laure and Werner's stories, as this author forces us to slow down and imagine the difficulties in their young lives with the war raging around them. And, of course, you know their paths will cross. Each short chapter illuminates a scene with its core components on display, like a searchlight revealing the essence of a situation. This is one of those books that you fall into and let it take you away. Finally, if you love The Rosie Project by Graeme Simsion, you will be thrilled to know that the sequel, The Rosie Effect, is now out. And after 10 months and 10 days of marriage, Don's got his hands full with a pregnant Rosie. That's all for this edition of 4 and 4. See you in the spring with 4 more titles in 4 minutes.